Templeton is a quaint California town located far from the hustle and bustle of bigger cities. Ranches and vineyards sprawl across the beautiful countryside. Templeton is a nice place to live. When tragedy strikes their neighbors, the close-knit community pulls together.
I remember my heart just sank. I didn't even know what to do. So I threw on a pair of jeans and a jacket because it was December 9th, so it was very cold out. I threw on a hat and I drove up there. And I remember turning the corner, going onto Main Street, which is the street our business is on, and I could see just red lights, tons of red lights flashing. So after the smoke was cleared, and the thing I remember most was the smell. It's the smell of a loss in the whole thing. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to turn. Where do you go?
Luckily for Jim, he had a CIG business personal property policy he had purchased for his pizzeria 5 years earlier. We just immediately comforted him, made sure he had blankets, brought coffee.
I arrived early the next day to explain to Jim what would be covered under his policy. Though the fire itself was relatively small, the smoke and water damage was significant.
The very next day, a fellow named Phil Henry shows up. He's with CIG Insurance. And he comes through. He obviously had been through it before, looked at everything. He says, "You're going to be fine. Don't worry. We're going to take care of this." Sure enough, he wrote me a check that very day to help cover some of my initial costs.
The response time to pay the employees was immediate. We were able to turn to the employees and say, "Don't worry right now. You're covered. We have time to figure out what it is we need to do."
I remember my first meeting with Jim in front of the burned out restaurant. He was understandably devastated and worried about what would happen next. When I got into the specifics of the policy, particularly when I explained it would cover ordinary payroll expenses for up to 60 days, Jim almost couldn't believe what he was hearing.
The restaurant equipment alone totaled well over $100,000. CIG also paid all of my outstanding bills, the utilities, ongoing insurance, all those things that don't go away even though your business is out of business. By that next morning, with Van Buren Insurance by my side, Phil Henry with CIG by my side, and taking care of things immediately, I knew that this was going to be a little bit of a different experience, that I was going to be okay.
Jim is not the owner of the building itself, and CIG is not its insurer. When dealing with the building owner's insurance company in his efforts to get back into business, Jim saw firsthand some of the things that set CIG apart.
Since then, the staff at Griff's has grown past 15 employees, which is where it was at when we had our fire. I've since opened a second Templeton business, and it's called Roost. Roost is a European-style bakery and coffee house and cafe. And you know, of course, it's insured by CIG too. Recently, I sold Griff's to my manager, longtime manager Jeff, who has taken the helm and is running it and doing a great job.
When I decided to buy the restaurant, there was no way that I was going to go with anybody else. Especially in a small town like Templeton, getting back to business, and in our case growing, impacts the local economy. It's a great peace of mind to have an insurance company that has your back.